Parliament Road. We are right here where protesters are trying to advance to try to access Parliament, but we are seeing anti-riot police who are here trying to cordon off us. You can see, if my cameraman, you can palm to the other side, you can see journalists are trying to run away, and as well as anti-riot police. So let's just keep moving so that we are safe. So this is the situation right now at Parliament Road. This is near the Intercontinental Hotel, and at the Jomo Kenyatta Mausoleum, where we are seeing protesters are trying to advance towards Parliament. And this is how the situation is. Let's just keep moving so that we show you how things are happening right here. As you can see, anti-riot police are trying to throw tear gas canisters, and protesters are really advancing towards Parliament. Today, the protesters are throwing stones. So this is the situation. I'll ask my cameraman to try to move behind so that we can keep seeing what is happening. So, as you can see, anti-riot police are currently overpowered, and we are moving towards Parliament. If my cameraman, you can pan that way, that is Parliament. So currently, this is the situation on the ground. Anti-riot police have apparently been overpowered, and right now, the protesters are advancing towards Parliament. As you can see, the police cars are retreating. It seems like there is no backup. We were expecting that the police would ask for reinforcement, but this is the situation right now on the ground. As you can see, all the police cars are retreating. All the police cars are retreating, and protesters are advancing towards Parliament. So this is the situation. The government had said that they are protecting government installations, but as it is right now, as you can see, the protesters are really advancing. That is the situation. That is the situation at Parliament. So let's just keep watching. We'll keep you updated on what's happening. My cameraman will continue recording and show you what is happening. As you can see, the police water cannon is also retreating. We are right now outside Parliament, right outside Parliament. We are outside the Senate. Only the media is allowed to be this side. As you can hear, the police are trying to ask themselves what is really happening, and they are all retreating. It seems like the situation has become dire. The protesters are really advancing towards Parliament, and this is the most feared situation. This is what was earlier feared when yesterday the Minister of Interior, the CS of Interior, Kithure Kindiki, gave a notice on where protesters are supposed to be and where they are not supposed to be. For the better part of the day, police officers have been trying to block protesters from advancing towards Parliament, but the situation right now is they are just 1 or 2 minutes outside Parliament. We will keep you updated just to show you what really is happening, and to keep you updated on whether the police will get backup and reinforcement so that they block protesters from accessing Parliament or advancing. As you can see, one of our journalists here has been injured. A journalist has been injured and is trying to move towards where an ambulance is. The situation is really dire right now. My cameraman will keep recording just to show you the situation and what is happening. If we can zoom, you can see that is somewhere near Intercontinental Hotel, and that is tear gas all over the air. The crowd you're seeing there are anti-riot police who are accompanied by journalists trying to block the protesters who are right now trying to access Parliament. As we all know, Parliament is a really key government installation, and as well is controversial and part of what is happening today, because members of the public and protesters are trying to access Parliament so that they can try to stop the members of Parliament from passing the bill in the committee stage. As we all know, there has been the protest of, you can see those are live bullets being fired. Those are live bullets being fired right now. Those are live bullets being fired. Those are live bullets being fired. And see what is happening right there. I think the police have gotten the command to try repulse the protesters who are now moving almost close to Parliament. They were just 1 or 2 minutes away to access Parliament, and that is the situation on the ground today on the 25th of June 2024, where Nairobi has all been sounds of explosions, tear gas, stun guns, rubber bullets have all been fired all over the air, and that is the situation. My cameraman, let's just move this side. As you can see, that is a truck, 2 water cannon trucks trying to advance. They are retreating. It means now it's time, let's all be safe, because right now, looks like protesters are now trying to advance Parliament. Those are live bullets. Those are live bullets. The situation is really dire right now. As you can see right on this side, this is Parliament. As you can see, that is the building that houses the Senate, where protesters are trying to advance. Definitely, from the situation, it seems like police have been overpowered by protesters. And so right now, this is the gate of Parliament. The situation is really dire. Definitely, it could be hard for the protesters to access Parliament, but you never know. So the situation as it is, you can see anti-riot police are trying to retreat. We are not sure whether they have asked for backup or reinforcement, but they are trying to retreat right now. The situation is really bad. This is outside, right outside Parliament, where protesters are trying to repel. Police have actually been overpowered. Anti-riot police have been overpowered, and they are now all retreating. We are right outside Parliament. All the water cannon trucks you can see are passing right now. Government machinery will now be required to ask for reinforcement or backup to help quell the police. All the water cannon trucks have been overpowered. My cameraman, if you can pan right now, you can see police officers have already gotten inside their trucks and they are retreating. So that is the situation as we speak right now. The situation is dire. The situation is tense right outside Parliament. We are not sure if these protesters will be able to access Parliament. At this point in time, the authorities may be forced to make a different decision. The situation is really dire. The security situation is dire as police protesters are trying to advance towards Parliament. This is really, really tough. This has never been witnessed in Kenya. In the last 61 years of our history, it has never been witnessed of protesters accessing Parliament. The situation is bad. The protesters are right outside the Parliament gate. The protesters are right outside the Parliament gate. Anti-riot police are trying to retreat. The situation is dire. The protesters have accessed Parliament. Right now, so many of them are at the Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's mausoleum, trying to see what is happening right there. But as we speak, anti-riot police are retreating. Definitely, I know they are going to ask for backup, ask for reinforcement as the protesters keep retreating. These are different, unique situation in Kenya right now. Never been witnessed. Since for the last 61 years, Kenya has existed, not one moment have protesters accessed parliament. But this is the situation today. The protesters right now are right outside Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's mausoleum, trying to throw stones, trying to show what is happening. We'll keep you updated on what is happening. But if my cameraman can just stand behind us, you can see anti-riot police have all retreated. They are trying to re-strategize on how they will counter these protesters who have accessed parliament. Definitely, I think at this point in time, I think the National Security Council is going to sit down and find a way of how to deal with these protesters who are right outside parliament. As we move to this side, anti-riot police are trying to charge at the protesters. Let's come and see if they are going to be successful. And this is a very dire situation. Never been witnessed in the 61 years of existence in Kenya. 61 years of independence. Rioters have never accessed parliament. They have never been to the proximity of parliament, but right now they are outside parliament. Most of them gathered around the Jomo Kenyatta mausoleum. So this is the situation. Definitely the National Police Service is trying to counter the protesters, but the situation really is unpredictable. The protesters have been to the proximity of parliament, but they have not accessed the precincts of parliament. So this is what is happening right now. As you can see, they are trying to be repulsed, but we are never sure. We don't know what will happen next. So this is what is happening right now in Nairobi. My cameraman, let's just try to retreat a bit, because you are not in anti-riot gear. You may be injured by these protesters who are trying to move. Okay, I will try to see what is happening. But the situation is some police officers here are trying to urge their colleagues to advance and contain the situation. So as you can see, this is all right outside parliament. The protesters are throwing stones. Police officers are also firing tear gas towards the protesters. The situation is really dire. Right now they are all gathered outside Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. As you can see, officers are trying to advance. They are trying to advance. Anti-riot police officers are trying to advance to counter what is happening right now. Anti-riot police officers are trying to advance, trying to move towards the protesters who right now are gathered at the roundabout of Intercontinental Hotel, right next to Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's mausoleum. So this is the situation right now in Nairobi. The protesters are advanced quite quickly, and they were now in right close to parliament. This is the situation. This is what is happening right now. Only journalists are right here outside parliament. The protesters have gathered at the roundabout of Intercontinental Holy Family Basilica and Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's mausoleum, trying to protect the area around parliament. Quite a dire situation.